And oh, there's a tunnel coming up. Hi there. Today we're going to be doing something that I also said I would never do, but since I already have the tune and the cold start is eliminated, I won't be waking the neighbors up anymore, so I can get myself an aftermarket exhaust. And I went with Active Autowerke exhaust, consisting of the rear muffler as well as a full mid-pipe. That means the whole stock exhaust straight after the downpipe is going to come out. This unit, the reason why I went actually with this one is because after viewing so many videos online of all these exhausts, driving a couple of cars with various exhausts, my buddy Ray had a couple, I realized that this is the one that hopefully will get rid of that lawnmower sound that everyone hates. The reason being is because it consists of a single mid-pipe as opposed to a dual mid-pipe setup. It also has a high-flow catalytic converter, which a lot of aftermarket mid-pipes do not have. This kind of muffles the sound. The rear muffler is a valved unit, so I can make it quieter or louder as I please, and I hope is going to be quiet enough in the morning where I still won't be disturbing the neighbors. Since I've decided to do it in my driveway, I had to prep the car up on some jack stands, and it's very important that you do it right. The car is sitting on 4 jack stands, 1, 2, 3, 4, and as a backup unit I also have this jack supporting the engine from the middle. This is the middle engine jacking point, just in case one of the 2 front jacks fail. In the back I also have a second jack that's supporting the rear, just in case one of these jacks fail. One of the first things we're going to be undoing is these bolts coming from the downpipe. So this is the downpipe here, and this is the mid-pipe. So these bolts have to come off. What I did was I pre-seasoned them with some WD-40 earlier in the morning, so hopefully they'll be easier to take off. Other than that, we're going to have a couple of clips and hangers to take off, but I think, and the mid brace and everything, but I think this should be a pretty straightforward install. And since we're going to be climbing under the car, it's important that you wear these safety glasses. Not these specifically, you can get any safety glasses, but you don't want anything falling in your eye. So it might not look cool, but they can save your eye. So to undo the downpipe, we're going to need this T30 Torx driver, as well as a 13mm socket. Now I might need a swivel driver, but let's see once I get down there. All right, so what have we here? With the T30 Torx, dude, this comes out very easy. Let's try the 13mm. Oops, this is not a 13. This looks like a 10. It's not a 10. Could it be a 12? It's not a 12? Don't tell me this is an 11. I guess it's an 11. Well, it feels hopefully loose for 11. Anyways, it is coming out pretty easy actually. I guess this is a quality product. You get what you pay for. So 1, 2, there's 3 over here, and the last one is behind over here. Let me take you on a quick tour. So you see these hangers here will have to come out. These we can leave because it all comes out as one piece. This cross brace will have to come out. We're gonna undo these bolts here. 1, 2, 3. We're not gonna remove these, so do not remove these I guess frame braces. All we want to do is we want to remove this, and we have to pay attention if the new exhaust has enough clearance between this and that. It's got to be at least 1/4 inch clearance. If not, we're just going to be putting some washers to space it out. And then we also have some hangers in the back, and then we're going to disconnect obviously the exhaust electronics, and that should be pretty much it. This brace is held using 6mm Allen keys. And with the bolts taken out, we can slide the brace out. Before we get any further, let's disconnect the exhaust electronics. That's one. And the way you disconnect it is, so there's this clip, this sits above, you apply pressure to this section, and it just comes right out. So while we're here, these are the exhaust hangers that we're gonna have to be disconnecting as well. You've got these bolts here, the same ones on the other side. There are some more down in the middle there. I'm gonna try to find a good camera angle so I can show you, because it's very difficult to squeeze in there, but it's pretty straightforward. The next step is pretty much just dropping the exhaust down. So most of the hangers have been undone except the ones in the back, but I don't want to undo them because the exhaust is going to drop in the back, so I need to support it somehow. Luckily, my friend Derek, the guy who takes these amazing photos, remember Lime Rock? He took those photos. Anyways, he left this, I think it's a motorcycle transmission jack or something, or motorcycle jack. You basically put it under, check it out. Bam! Now we can safely undo the hangers and drop the exhaust ever so slightly, but not until we do the final hangers up front. And just like that, we have at least disconnected the stock exhaust. It's sliding on the blanket. I don't want to scratch it too much. So this is a stock exhaust. This is how it sits. So it's coming off from the downpipe here, and you've got a series of turns. You've got these two catalytic converters. You've got a resonator. Basically, it's an X-pipe. The air mixes in between here, and then it goes into the muffler and into your valves. So if your valves are closed, if these valves are closed, the air goes through the muffler. If the valves are open, some of the air goes through the muffler, but most of it is pretty much straight pipe to the back. I think we owe it to ourselves, and we have to start the car just for a split second, just to see what it sounds like with just a downpipe on. My cold start is deleted, so it's going to sound quieter, but I bet you it's going to be loud. Let's quickly compare these exhausts side by side. On the left side you have the new one, on the right side obviously the old one. The biggest difference is, as I mentioned earlier, is you have a single pipe design versus a dual pipe design. As we continue down, the reason also why I put it side by side is I wanted to make sure I transfer all the hangers and everything the right way. So these are positioned the way they would sit on the car. You've got these, again, two catalytic converters. This catalytic converter sits right over here. Yep, oops, sorry, where's my finger? Right over there, after the connection. There is no resonator, I'm sorry, this one. Right there. There's no resonator. We're not going to be using this hanger, obviously. We're going to be using the left side hanger. And as we continue towards the muffler obviously has one pipe with an input and two outputs. And very similarly, if you want to open the valves, it flows straight through. If you want to close it, it goes through the muffler, which is pretty cool. Installing it should be easier because it is going to go in pieces. First, we're going to take the first section, hang it up, followed by the middle section, and then do the muffler at the very end. There's a tool for every job. In this case, there's a tool to remove this rubber hanger. It's actually pretty straightforward. I'm going to link it in the description if you want to buy it, but basically, you put it in the back, attach it to the tip. Easy. The middle one, it doesn't look like we're gonna have to transfer it because this one already has a hanger. and this is the old one. And the last step is to transfer this exhaust valve onto the new one. Alright, so I started putting it back together. The first section of the mid-pipe is done. I realized actually that you do not need to remove the alignment screws from the downpipe. They can stay. So technically it's just 4 bolts on the downpipe. But as you continue here, I hung it up on these hangers. I didn't tighten it, but it just hung up. And it continues down here. It's waiting for the second section to be put together. When you do slide the second section in, be sure that the clamp is on the pipe. Otherwise, you're gonna have to remove it one more time. So the second section of the mid-pipe is connected. The clamp is on, but nothing is tightened. And the last piece is installing the muffler. And luckily, I have my friend here, Mirza, who's got a nice F80 down there that we're gonna take a look at later. But we're gonna put this muffler up in here, get it aligned, and then we'll tighten everything and hopefully we'll be good to go. So we have to, let's see, first we have to slide it in and then hold it up and align it to the bolts. Okay, cool. All right, so it is in. The back is somewhat aligned. We still have to tighten all the clamps, but see, this is the clamp that needs to be aligned. Come on, focus. This is the clamp that needs to be aligned, and then we're going to continue our way backwards and start tightening and aligning everything, making sure we've got all the clearances. All right, so we got the tips installed. This exhaust came with 2 sets of tips. These tips have the carbon fiber covers. I also have the silver ones that are slightly bigger, but I think these are classier. And from underneath, it looks like a brand new exhaust. And for the last time, this is how it's coming out of the downpipes. The hangers are nice and tight now. It's going through the cross brace. I actually had to install spacers because it was too close to the pipe. So the spacers consist of 3 washers, and that pushes the brace down a little bit and it gives it some more clearance. One mistake I made, I didn't turn the clamp the proper way. This technically should be pointing up, but that's okay. It's not the lowest point in the exhaust. All right, I think we're gonna get ready to start the car now to hear what it sounds like for the very first time. Remember, cold start, the lead is implemented, so it's gonna hopefully not rev up as much as stock start is. So, Mirza, you wanna give it a try? Come on, you didn't think I wasn't gonna take you for a test drive with me. All right, let's start it up. All right. Remember, I do have active sound disabled. So we are now in quiet mode. We are pretending that this is me in the morning and I am leaving for work. Hey neighbors. All right. right, so far inefficient, not much different. I mean, obviously slightly louder, but not much different. One thing I noticed when I was revving it up is that the revs drop faster than with the stock exhaust. I guess there's less back pressure and it doesn't hold up the exhaust in there as much or as long. But that's one thing I noticed. So this is us driving inefficient, and imagine your spouse driving next to you. Let's see, we're in 6th gear. Not bad at all. So efficient, in my mind, is going to be good for those family trips. It still gives some exhaust note, but it's manageable. There's no droning. I'll get on the highway so I can see exactly what it sounds like, but driving around town, really not much droning. This is good. It's funny, you can definitely feel the extra horsepower. I think this setup gives you 30 extra horsepower or 25 to the wheels. That's what the manufacturer claims. And traction control is fully on, but it's acting a lot, or it's working a lot harder than before. So I feel like I do feel it. Second gear, doing 40 miles an hour. It's definitely louder in the car, but it's not crazy loud. Let's see what happens when we finally actually do get on it. Alright, the valves are open and I'm doing 80 on the highway. No droning, and it's actually not loud at all. I'm driving with the valves open, and if you get on it, you hear it? It's not droning, it's just the exhaust sound. But when you're just cruising without pushing it, look, it's pleasant. It's totally pleasant. And when I'm driving with my wife, I'll close the exhaust valves, and it gets slightly better. Does it get extremely better? No. But you do notice a bit of a difference. I would call it a very mature exhaust system. If you want to be loud, but you don't want to be obnoxious, oh, the burbles are there. This is it. And oh, there's a tunnel coming up. Yes. You ready for this? There's a tunnel here. Let's see. First gear or second gear? Let's see. First gear. Woo! You can definitely scare some people like that. Damn it. Getting in the dangerous territory. So we're gonna go pull into a parking lot, which will hopefully be vacant. We're gonna record some sound clips and continue enjoying this awesome exhaust. All right, and we are officially done. This was a quick drive, quick test. There's gonna be a couple of videos coming up where I do some in-depth sound clips of this exhaust so you can hear exactly what it sounds like inside and out. But so far the consensus is that I'm very happy. Let's see what the wife says when I take it for a spin. But technically, no matter what she says, I'm kind of stuck with it for now. If it ends up being too loud for my liking, I can always put a resonator in the mid-pipe. Aftermarket, so it's not a problem. Mirza, the guy that you saw earlier in the video, did that with his Eisenman exhaust, and it sounds great. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.